Greetings everybody and welcome to Milton, New Hampshire. A great place. We're at Inland Boat Works in Milton, New Hampshire. And matter of fact, just walking in is the owner of this operation. This is quite the place. Probably one of the biggest old wooden boat restoration places in New England. And he has got a slew of boats and what have you that he can get his hands on. So those of you that are old wooden ChrisCraft enthusiasts, you want to come here. You want to check it out. Below is going to have his contact information, his phone number. Give Gary a call. He's a pro at this. Anyway, come on in, Gary.
Morning, Count.
How you doing?
How you doing? Good to see you.
It's a pleasure. Anyway, it's quite the operation you had here, and we want to hear about each one of these boats because, I mean, these things are older than we are. These things are awesome. Back when they actually made boats out of wood. So come on, let's walk around this place, and we're going to get some education, and everybody's going to have a good time. We'll be right back.
Showroom facility. We have another shop where we physically restore the boats. We have for 25 years. Once they're finished or awaiting restoration, they get moved to this facility to either be sold or just to be stored.
Gorgeous.
First up, this is a 1927 ChrisCraft 22-foot. This is the triple cockpit with 3 rows of seating. This is an original boat off Lake George with the original Chrysler engine. It's nice. A one-owner boat. I am the second owner of this boat, and it's still in the honey stain, which is very light. This boat was never stayed dark mahogany stain. It has the original steering wheel. This boat's ready to go. It is for sale. And these were the flush deck models. This deck comes clean to the windshield. 27, 28, and 29, they were flush. The boat you see behind you is what we call the Upswept. That's a 1931.
I see that.
20-foot triple. And that deck is called the Upswept deck, where it sweeps right up to the windshield. This boat's awaiting restoration. They only built this model 2 years, 1930 and 1931. The configuration is gone. This was a triple cockpit, but it's been modified into a utility, but we will put it back as a triple cockpit.
That is great.
It needs considerable work, but the value is there when we're finished.
I'm sure you don't find boats like this anymore.
Well, when they only built them 2 years, the numbers are very low.
That is crazy.
In the corner, we have a little Ventnor. Those were built in Ventnor, New Jersey, Atlantic City, New Jersey. Very high-end race boats back in the 20s and 30s, and then after the war they started building pleasure boats for the public. That's fully restored, new bottom, new chines, the engine's rebuilt, has all the original hardware, the original engine.
Now you say they used to race these. What was the top speed of something like this?
This boat here would probably do 32 miles an hour with a Chrysler 6-cylinder in it.
Wow.
But back in the 20s and 30s, they were achieving 60 miles an hour in the race boats.
Amazing. That's...
Those years, whoever did the best speed at some of these races, they sold the boats, whether it be Garwood or ChrisCraft, whoever won the races that year, that was the boat that sold to the public.
That's cool. That is cool.
This here is another rare boat. That's a 1933 ChrisCraft 18-foot split cockpit. It's called a Model 301. It needs considerable work, but on the tail end, this boat is extremely valuable, restored. We have no motor for it, but we can source one.
Ballpark, what would something like this be worth now and after it's restored?
In this condition, with no engine, we could probably sell this for $4,000. Finished, I've seen them up in the 40s, mid-40s.
Very nice. Like I said, if you want a piece of history, this is something to own. This is amazing. Look at this beauty.
That's a relatively new boat. That's Van Dam. They're out of Bayonne, Michigan. That's a 1996, and that's designed after a Hacker craft that was built back in the 20s and raced. They only built 3 of these. They built other models, obviously, but They built 3 of this style. It's got a modern General Motors V8 in it. It's in superb condition with the trailer.
But the wood on this is absolutely gorgeous.
New methods of construction. These are all, they're wood with epoxy, cold molded, vacuum bagged. You don't see any fasteners. You don't see any screws.
No.
No deck seams.
Absolutely gorgeous. It looks like it was shaped out of almost one piece of wood.
They do. They're the finest boat builders of today's times.
Wow.
Van Dam Boatworks. This is a 1926 Fay-Bowen Jr. 24-foot original Fay-Bowen engine. They built 900 of these boats.
Wow.
They say most of them were cypress on the sides, painted white, and mahogany on the decks. And out of the 900, they built 10 or 12 that were full mahogany hulls. This is one of them.
Wow.
It's a one-owner boat off of Lake Capactong in New Jersey. It was bought by the Shipman family and kept in their boathouse since brand new. I've owned the boat for 3 years. We actually had it in the water for a short time and played around with it. It's absolutely a fabulous boat. Right now there's a small Chrysler PC in it that we're running it with, but I do have the original Fay-Bowen engine that was sold with the boat.
Like I said, that is a beautiful boat.
Priceless. Patinaed perfectly, never restored, all original wood.
That would make somebody a pride and joy walking, or driving around the
Count,
lake.
if you were to sit in that boat, all you'd see is a bowling alley out in front of you. That's what it looks like.
I believe it. That is beautiful. So like I said, those of you that are into boats, if you're into wooden boats and you want a classic, talk about this one. This is the pride and joy of boats. My God, this thing is pretty.
Are we going for a boat ride this afternoon?
Yes, we are.
We have a racing runabout in the water that's just itching to go.
That would be awesome. That would be so much fun. And I'm sure Gabriella would be all over that.
Here we have a 1931 24-foot ChrisCraft. This is an upswept deck. This is the last year. This is a 31 last year with the combings for ChrisCraft. After this, they went to the Customs, which we have one in the showroom, where it's more of a rolled deck. This has the original motor, original hardware. It needs considerable work, but this is in line to be restored at the shop. Value of these has ranged anywhere finished from 80 to 110,000 with all original equipment.
I don't doubt it. I mean, you can go out and you can buy some little piece of crap to go floating around the water, but you want to go out in style and really turn some heads, this is the way to do it.
We like to find them, Count, that have all the original pieces. We have the original. This is a German silver gauge panel. That's not, they do recast these and chrome them, but that's the real German silver with the 5 gauges.
Wow.
Has the original steering wheel, all the original hardware. That's when it's nice to restore a boat, when you have all the pieces that were sold with the boat, hunting things down and having it remade.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's no different than a car or anything else. I mean, like I said, this is one beautiful, beautiful boat.
This is a 1931 Dart. This was made out in Ohio. Very rare. There's probably 12 or 15 Darts left of their run, and most of them are 26-footers, which I've owned and sold. This is an 18-footer. 4 of these have turned up along the way. It's powered by a Chrysler CM engine, which I have. It is not in the boat, but we did put a new bottom on this boat, and we're getting ready to preserve the rest of it. We don't want to change any wood. This will be a total preservation when we're done.
Very cool. Absolutely gorgeous.
This one here still has the tag in it from the dealer. We have the original sales brochure. This was a 2-owner boat, and it's been on Lake Winnipesaukee its entire life. It was raced around the bandstand in Alton Bay. We have documentation of this actually being raced.
Very cool.
Now we get into the mid-30s. This is a 36 ChrisCraft. If you can see, there are no combings. It's more of a clean deck line. This is also a triple cockpit. It's 22 feet. This has been fully restored. New bottom, new sides, new decks, new upholstery.
This is beautiful.
Gauges were restored. perfectly good running boat. And it just shows you the different styling through the years, from the combings, the raised combings, to the cleaner look, cleaner deck lines. Banjo steering wheel, that's the same steering wheel that they used in the Duesenbergs of the day.
Wow.
Those windshields fold down for ventilation.
Right,
You
yep.
can turn that, fold it down.
Wow, that is amazing.
Hot summer day, it's nice to turn the windshield down. That's powered by a ChrisCraft 6-cylinder, 138 horse.
So that'll cruise right along.
Yeah, it'll do about 28 miles an hour.
Very nice. You did a beautiful job restoring this. I mean, from the interior to the exterior, she is beautiful.
We always have new boats coming in. This is what we have now. We have a couple collections we're selling for customers. There's 30 boats in Bristol, Connecticut, and 30 in Lake Hopatcong that we don't advertise. We choose. If someone calls and needs a specific boat, we bring it up and we try to work a deal with that. But there's plenty of boats for us to market and help people get into.
That's awesome. That's what you want. I mean, a nice selection.
This is the newest thing. I just picked this up. This came off of Beaver Lake in New Jersey. It's probably the rarest boat in the building. These were Johnson Outboards in the late 20s, early 30s, teamed up with Peterborough Boats, and they called these the Johnson matched units. Johnson didn't build boats, but they hired somebody to build the boat, put the units on them. We still have the Johnson matched unit enamel tag.
Wow.
All the Beaver Lake labeling is in it. And this boat will be preserved. We'll take this and we won't change any wood, but we'll remove all the fiberglass, all the old paint. We'll get this back to cedar, and this will be a super boat.
Thing when it's done. This is gorgeous.
People have heard about these, but not many people have ever seen one live.
I don't doubt it. That is crazy.
This was to make it look like an inboard. They tucked the outboard engine in a well so that you could see the transom. Very stylish with that steering wheel and all the original equipment.
I can appreciate this because if, Shannon, if you actually point upwards, Gary has several of the older engines up there. And my first engine would have been somewhere around kind of like this, but it was an old Chrysler. It was a 3.5. You'd have to turn the motor around to put gas in it. And of course, you try to get as much into the motor and not into the lake as possible.
You had to turn it around for reverse too, I'm sure.
Correct.
There was no gearing.
There was no reverse. You'd actually turn the motor around and held it going backwards.
Right.
And
of course, the open flywheels, not.
Oh yeah, I mean.
No UL listing and no
then,
safety.
Right. Back then, you know, there was a little bit of common sense. You see something going around at 10,000 miles an hour, you don't put your hand on it.
Exactly. I don't even think we needed life jackets back in the
we
late
didn't use
50s.
them, but we did have them. So anyway, going back to the good old days, you know, I'm going to give you a little bit of background too. Gary's been in the antique business for many, many, many years. His dad was George Michael, a very renowned auctioneer and antique appraiser. If you look on the walls, you'll actually see pictures of Mr. Michael, George Michael. I can proudly say he was our summer neighbor, and I grew up working auctions with him. So I had a good time, and I'm very grateful for the experience that I got working with him and working with Gary. I mean, we've known each other for, what we figure, 56 years.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, it's honestly a very nostalgic moment for me, and to turn around and see what he's doing just warms my heart, because it's keeping America going, and this is what we're sharing with you. So, like I said, once again, if you need or want a good, restored ChrisCraft boat from the yesteryears, this is the man to talk to. His number is 603-345-3765. The website to look at the boats or our annual auction is woodboats.org. So follow us, follow him, follow his website. You'll get a ton of information from it. With that, we're going to sign off for now. God bless you. Thank you for joining us. We're Cooking with the Count, Sharing America. We'll be back with another adventure soon. Thanks for following us.
Thank you, Count.
My pleasure.
Well, look at our ride for the day. What do you think, Gabriella? Turn around.
I love it.
You love it?
Yeah.
Wow, Gabriella, how cool is this?
Awesome.
Hey, down! This boat was built in 1914.
We're here on Milton Three Ponds. What a beautiful lake. I grew up on this lake, and I'll tell you what, it sure looks a lot different than it did when we were growing up. One of my best friends growing up, if I had a brother from another mother, that would be him. Anyway, I want you to meet Jerry Michael. Great guy, and want him to say hi. Come on over here, Jerry.
Hi everyone. Dave is a great guy. I gotta tell you, great cook, great, a lot of good stories. Just a great human being.